Alright, boys. Towers of Doom in the finals. Blaze going up against Resurgence. It's actually a little bit of a surprise that Resurgence made it here in the final, but I'm absolutely amazed at how they turned around that semi-final game, and we are going to see them play now in Towers of Doom, and I am happy that we have Towers of Doom once again because I like this map. Now let's talk a little bit about the bans. After the patch, of course, Tyranda's still important, but not as popular anymore as she was before. She's still seen occasionally as a ban or even a first pick, but we have other heroes that the teams are currently fighting over as well. In the European scene, Stitches is incredibly powerful right now, but it's mostly even about Thrall that oftentimes gets banned out early on in the draft or even picked then as one of the first heroes. With Muradin, we see a very similar thing as well. Muradin is oftentimes ending up in this situation too. North America still changing it up a little bit, and we see one trend that has been true for the North American server even before the patch. Zagara once again a first pick here, in this case for Team Blaze. It has been a constant that Zagara is very highly prioritized in the North American meta. Kelthas hasn't really changed, so not only here in the North American scene, but also in the European one, we see him still as one of the priority heroes. But I would still be surprised to not see a go for Thrall at some point here from one of these two teams. The Tyrande ban that we're seeing on the side of Resurgence right now already indicating that they still value Tyrande even after the nerfs high enough to say, okay, we don't want to go up against a potential stun meta. Even with that buff on Cleanse, it's going to be a bit too much. Well, we have a few more friends here apparently as well. I don't think we see Brightwing, but Burke, thank you very much for the sub here. At that point, we have Falstead taken, and that is actually an interesting twist, because Resurrections, Resurgence, they played with Falstead in the last game already, and they do it again. They had amazing damage output on Equinox, and it's a hero that in the North American meta was for a long time, I don't want to say ignored, but still a bit undervalued in my opinion, and is now starting to make a huge comeback over here in the scene. He's a great hero, and they are going up against now Jaina picked on the side of Blaze. Blaze probably would like to go into maybe even an ETC to make sure that they have a tank that allows them to get a pre-stun so that Jaina gets all of that burst damage in. But first of all, they're dropping that Leoric here. Towers of Doom, of course, also a very special map that we see. And with the setup that we're having here already, another hero that you have to also think about a little bit is that Diablo. We don't have a Tyrande here taken, so that Diablo-Tyrande combo is not possible. But you can still try to go into an Apocalypse, into more into Apocalypse or Apocalypse overall. Not necessarily a hero that you do have to take here. I mean, with Leoric already at the front line, we can expect the second frontline hero taken for Blaze, but there's also a Johanna to consider. There's still a couple of other heroes around that could be taken. Thrall, as expected, makes his way into the draft. He's not picked, though. He is banned out by Resurgence here, but there's no pick on the hero early on, but we have now also that ban for Blaze. And with Falstad and Kelthas already locked down for Resurgence, they could of course think about even limiting that pool in frontliners more, but they go for a Tassadar ban first. Now Tassadar, first of all, can of course still be played as a solo support. We have seen that in the European scene a lot. We've seen it also on the North American server, so it's not an isolated thing that you only have in one region. Usually we have we can even see a second support then coming in, but he also gives you the vision on the map. And with Zagara already taken, one of the reasons why Tassadar is banned out here is also that it makes it way more difficult for Zagara to keep those creep tumors alive. So Zagara for the vision and map control for Team Blaze, and Resurgence right now, they can go into Johanna, for example, as a tank. They take an Uther first of all, and that allows a couple of other things for them to happen as well. Sonya could be one of the choices. They banned out Thrall, that leaves Sonya as one of those bruiser type warriors at the front. You usually don't play her as a solo, but we could see an ETC, we could see a Sonya here right now as a frontliner. So there's a couple of options that Resurgence has now to run this, and all of them are quite scary. So having that Divine Shield ready with an ETC for Mosh Pit, with a Sonya when she tries to go deep, is super powerful. And Uther, of course, with that additional stun that he can add as well. It's a Zeratul, first of all, that they picked, though. And that is this is awesome. I love this. Zeratul already taken. Definitely a hero that we didn't necessarily expect here. But he is still popular in North America. If we have a region where Zeratul is still picked, it is the North American meta where this still happens. And Zeratul, of course, is going to try and put pressure on Jaina in particular, which could end up with Jaina going on level 7 into Frost Armor over the potential Frostbitten that we see usually. So this is actually an adjustment that she's most likely going to make, because that heavy auto attack hero is going to try and pressure her. For Blaze, how can they deal with this? Tacita is banned out, so Vision is going to become a bit of a problem. If they go into Charism, they could use the level 4 talent to reveal. They could also go, of course, when it comes to the heals, into a Brightwing, but especially Brightwing is not really too popular on the North American server. Charism, Rhaegar, way more popular in these cases, and those could really do a lot against Zeratul, but it's Morales. Oh, Prometheus, thanks for the sub here. Even more friends and apparently Brightwing fans. But Morales is being picked. Morales has, of course, their cleanse ready. The interesting part about Morales is that it offers another target for Zeratul. So that's actually a very interesting choice here that we see. Also, we don't have really a lot of heroes that can... It's actually like a very interesting composition that we see here. I didn't really expect that to happen. That ETC, if you remember, I already suggested him as the last pick for Resurgence. But yeah, they pick him last. So it is Mosh Pit into, of course, also then the Divine Shield Mosh Pit. But having Morales with Stitches, I'm a little bit surprised by that. I really think that in this situation, a Charism might have been the better opportunity for them to kill a target, since you can get that hook in, and then you simply use quickly that 7-sided strike to drop the target down on very low health, and Jaina can follow it up with additional damage. Having Morales here right now is just another target for Zeratul where they could go in. So it is getting a little bit tricky for Blaze, or it could get tricky for them to keep them alive. There's also no real auto attack target that could really benefit from a stim rope. Could we maybe see that Medivac come into play here? Towers of Doom is the first map in the best of 3 series. With those setups here, I'm pretty excited for it, to be honest with you. So we're going to jump in now and we're going to find out which team is going to take the lead in the best of 3 series. Game number 1, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the storm, North America Qualifier Finals. We have the best of 3 series with Blaze versus Resurgence, and to the left side of the map we can see Team Blaze with Khaldor and Stitches, Battery on Leoric, you on Morales, Rufflecopter on Jaina, and Jason on Zagara. To the right side of the map, it is, of course, Resurgence. They had a very nice showing in this tournament already. Great games from them. And shot on Kalthas here once again with Deu on ETC, Equinox on Zeratul, Killik on Falstad, and Rixie on Uther. It is Towers of Doom, our first map, and this is going to be a very, very excited map. Especially, of course, with Zeratul in play. It's always a pleasure to see Zeratul. And we have Stitches, as in the European scene, also now highly valued in North America. And already the pressure against ETC and that hook, but no follow-up damage here in time. It's of course actually very tricky in this situation for any hero that gets hooked by Stitches to survive if there is a Jaina that can dish out a lot of damage. Interestingly enough, the team went into Morales though, and again, nice move away here. The thing about Morales is actually that in this situation, we have Morales, of course, in one of those situations where she is not able to really deliver any kind of damage. Charism, for example, if you isolate a target with a hook, can provide that 7-sided strike after levels 10 and then get a lot of damage done actually on a single isolated target. Talent adjustments on level 1 are also quite interesting here. We have again an auto attack build on Equinox Zeratul. He's going into Seasoned Marksman, as is Falstad. Both of them at the top lane, very eager to get, of course, a few stacks going for them. ETC in a bit of trouble here actually. Needs to be careful, but Equinox is already moving in to help him out here. And yeah, they need to move away from this one. Blaze strong and the potential kill. Yes, Zeratul is dead. Well done here, and ETC now falling. 2 great kills here for Blaze. A double kill for them right away. We had a couple of adjustments also on the level 1 talents that I want to talk about again. We have Demolition is taken for Zagara, so that's a very interesting talent to take here, trying to just make sure that they get a bit more pressure going on against these structures on lane. And yeah, that's pretty cool to see. We haven't really seen a lot of Demolitionist Zagaras lately. Stitches went into the heavy slam on level 1, and the last patch of course increased his slam damage already, and with this particular talent now he has a solid amount of wave clear, but also damage against heroes that he can use, and of course it is the Putrid Ground on level 4 to follow that up. We have currently down to the bot lane Jason about to fall, and nice Equinox secures the kill, but he himself might be in trouble. He doesn't have the blink ready, gets hooked and taken down. And of course, now that the 2 altars are active on the map, Battery is currently being interrupted with the channel. Falstad is able to channel that through for the first few shots fired, but Battery has to interrupt it again. There's the shots against the first core. The fight up at the top. Oh, Jaina! Oh, Morales keeping her alive somehow. God knows how that happened. but we have at the same time now shots fired on both sides, 36 against 36 hit points on those cores. We're seeing the Master Warblade as the follow-up on level 4 after Season Marksman for Zeratul, and besides that it's Fealty onto death for Leoric, extra sustain for him, Snowstorm after the level 1 Deep Chill on the side of Jaina, Frostbitten going to be the level 7 talent most likely, and Advanced Block of course for good old Morales. The interesting part is actually going to be if Jaina is really going to go for Frostbitten on level 7 or if it's going to be an adjustment with Frost Armor, since Zeratul is of course going to be a bit of a problem then in the later stages of the game against her, especially with a high amount of Season Marksman stacks. Currently this is not really too much of an issue just yet, but we have both of the teams at roughly the same experience, but a slight lead still for the blue team with their 3 kills against 1. Over here to the left, Rufflecopter already starting with Mewtwo together, go straight for one of the camps. We have still the split at the top lane with Killik trying to secure some Season Marksman stacks for himself and push the lane in. Battery, very reluctant to actually engage into this, rocking that Vulture there of course as well. And again, Equinox in a bit of trouble, but they go for Stitches and he's isolated for Morales and that could be a kill, but no, he goes for the Devour, keeps himself alive, gets the hook in against Shot, and Shot survives, and so does Gladius. No kills in this particular engagement. Morales coming into play in the last moment here, using that safeguard and just being ready with a heal beam as well. A great hero to go up against Morales is of course Muradin. That's also one of the reasons why Muradin was banned out here. I guess already from the early start they were thinking about going into maybe a Morales. But with Muradin being banned, it's pretty great because Muradin in the later stage of the game after 10 can use Avatar and just jump into the backline and just auto-stun the entire time with his auto-attacks Morales. And that of course puts that healing beam on a mini cooldown every time. It makes it very annoying for Morales to keep teammates alive. We have now Toxic Gas taken, full slam damage build for Gladius on his Stitches. We see Paralyzing Rage for Leoric as a level 7 talent, and no Frost Armor, no respect for Zeratul, it's Frostbitten instead. And when we're looking at the level 7, shots fired here of course with that channel on the altar. Now it's 36 to 32 points on those core. We have, for now, Searing Attacks. Full auto attack damage here. Equinox trying to escape. Getting slowed down again and healed. Yeah, but still, we have ETC helping them out a little bit. And on level 7, he went for the loudspeakers. So yeah, so far a pretty good start for Team Blaze actually in this first game here. But at the same time we are still seeing a very solid setup on the side of Resurgence. And of course in the last game, in the semifinals, we already experienced how much damage they can actually put on the table once that they have those Seasoned Marksman stacks going for them. And this is one of the things that Team Blaze have to think about it. They have to consider that. In the later stages of the game when Seasoned Marksman stacks are going to be high on the 2 heroes, it's going to be incredibly difficult. And the rotation here is already dropping Zagara. Well, mistakes were made alone on the map, and then Equinox, Rixie, and Deo go in, and of course Zagara without an escape has no chance of escaping there. And that is, of course, dropping additional stacks into the hands of Zeratul, and that is overall going to become a bit of a problem in the later stages. We're going to have a closer look at that damage then as well. For now, it's all about experience here, of course, and that means going for the towers, dropping them as fast as you can. Stitches is already moving in a bit too late to really stop the tower from going down. But another altar is announced on the map and will spawn very soon in the middle of the map, actually. Shot is also helping out now. They go for that damage with the bombs and also the flame strike, but Stitches could hook and is doing that against ETC, but that was of course an intended block to make sure that he can move out of this. Level 10 abilities, that's what both of the teams are currently hoping for. Already Equinox over here waiting, starting to move up. Shot does the same thing, Altar is about to spawn. Heroic abilities are going to be ready in a few seconds. There's the channel as we speak. Falstad could fly down, doesn't do that yet. The block and that Altar channel, great play here by Resurgence. Once again the kill attempt though against them, and Leoric the first one to fall. Maybe, maybe not. No, he survives, but so does the entire setup on the hand of Resurgence. So 32 versus 32 points now. We have also the level 10 abilities being chosen, and that means that we have next to the Void Prison also the Mighty Gust now. We have also, once again, the Mosh Pit. And we see next to the Divine Shield also Phoenix chosen, whereas on the other side of the map it is still that Stim Drone. That's actually fairly interesting. I'm wondering which hero is going to benefit from that. It's probably going to be Zagara, but well, we have March of the Black King. We have also now Putrid Bile taken. There's a Maw, there's a Water Elemental in play. And it's going to be very interesting to see how that spin drone is going to be used. Oftentimes you see it in combination with a Sergeant Hammer, a Rainer, maybe a Falstad. But in this case, it's Zagara that has the most auto attack damage, I would say. Maybe even that Stitches here, depending on how you play it. But for now, let's see. Hook doesn't really hit anything. We have down to the bot lane. Again, Zagara in trouble. Whoa, no way! No way! Jason, okay, forget it. Jason doesn't survive. But I suppose that Equinox is gonna fall too. No, he gets away, and there's the Mosh Pit. Mosh Pit is being used. Is ETC going to survive though with the Mortar Elemental? I highly doubt it. Oh, no, dude. You stay here. They kill Zagara, but they lose then ETC. Could have been Zeratul, but ETC sacrificed himself in this situation. Level 11 for both of the teams. 3 kills against 4. And yeah, Equinox starting to move in again. I'm not quite sure if that's a smart move considering his hit point pool here. But double altar on the map, and that should actually trigger a B-back to get those hit points and mana stacks back up. Talking damage while we're waiting, of course, for the two teams to go for the altar here. You can already see that we have Zeratul at 9,000. Falstad is already at 12k. Hero damage, of course. And we have Zagara on 20,000. So a pretty solid damage output by her. Especially, of course, thanks to those Hydrolis that she can always bring into play. And now it is party time once again. The channel in the mid lane is going to be interrupted. Battery is there at the bot lane. We have Zagara doing the same thing though. Shot is dropping the Phoenix. That is going to help. Over here in the middle, we have a 2 versus 2. Equinox is starting to come into play again. No channel. The teams are going to the bot lane where Morales is in trouble. So is Uther. Has to Divine Shield himself. And Zeratul is channeling the first altar. Great play here once again for Resurgence. They're starting to get a bit ahead of here. But can they go in? And Jason, no, they can't interrupt it this time. And ETC needed to move away. Battery with a Paralyzing Rage moving in out too. A lot of damage again on Team Resurgence, and Falstad is falling. That particular Maw not hitting anyone. He was already dead, but they are following it up with even more damage. Blaze is going for it right now. 28 points against 28. Great action and great dynamic already here on the game. We have the Phoenix now zoning them out, pushing them back. But that tower, as you can tell, is incredibly low, and that is going to become a massive issue. Currently, with the level 7 talent, we are seeing also for Zagara in Venom Spines and Battle Momentum on 7 and 4. For now, we have level 13 talents, of course, closing in for both of these teams. And this is going to make things fairly interesting here. Again, the Mega Smash. Full Smash build here for Stitches. This is also a very different way to skill the hero compared to what Europe currently does. Normally, we still see adjustments on level 13 and 16 and not a full damage build for the hero. Chain Bombs now for Kel'Thas. We have up at the top lane Battery in a bit of problem, especially, of course, with Equinox moving in. Could use that. Oh my god, that damage on the auto attacks. And is it enough for a kill? No, it's not. Barely surviving, but well, as long as he gets away, he doesn't mind too much. Wormhole as a level 13 talent for Zeratul. Showstopper taken, Giant Killer, and the Shrink Ray. Equinox is going for Gladius now. Already Devour used. There's the Medic though. Water Elemental trying to lock Equinox down. They move away. The hook does not hit home, and Uther barely escaping here. Giving you a bit of an idea about the Stitches damage, by the way. We currently have Stitches here with 22,000 hero damage, and that puts him up on the same level as Zagara and nearly Jaina as well. So pretty incredible actually how much damage he can dish out with that slam build that he's currently using here. We have a channel on the first altar. Oh, ETC is way too low. It's going to be incredibly difficult for him. Nice move with the Wormhole here, but that's not going to be enough for long. Here comes that Phoenix, and that is important. And they go for Morales now. They go straight for the taker. What a Mosh Pit! The Mosh Pit hitting 3, buying them time to go for extra damage against Gladius, but Falstad is dead. Here comes the Void Prison. They still didn't take down ETC, but now he dies. The problem is that shot falls as well. It's a 2 for 3, a 3 for 3, and again, no, the channel is completed. The channel is completed, and the altar is hit. 24 against 28 points on the core, and another altar already channeled to the left side. Very well played here by Team Blaze. A very, very fun game actually between the two of them. But that's of course a nice lead that they're able to establish now. 6 kills versus 8. 28 points on the core against 20. 15 versus 15. Very close in that regard. And with the damage that you can see now, look at Zeratul. He's really starting to get the damage in now. 21,000. His auto attacks are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's also, of course, true for Falstad. I mean, look at that beast moving in, trying to drop them low here. Very well played. And I mean, Falstad is on 21 season marksman stacks already. Zeratul is on 23. So both of them really starting to get some extra damage here on their auto attacks. Down to the bottom of the map. Still camps taken, and it's another altar that is going to spawn very, very soon. Not announced yet, not gonna take long though. Top lane pressure still, killing, and also battery. Level 16 talents, that's what they are trying to get now. And on level 16, this is going to be pretty exciting, because first of all, it makes, of course, Khaldor a lot more sustainable here, thanks to his arcane barrier, which we already have, but we also have now the Rending Cleave taken for Zeratul. And massive slam talents taken. Stitches goes into the Pulverize for the cooldown decrease, and also, of course, for the slow. They already start to move in. They go straight for it. Echo Paddle on ETC. Everybody blown away. ETC with the mosh pit, keeping himself alive. March of the Black King. And they dash away again. Jason had that stim drone on him. They try to well up for now. Uh-oh, that water elemental has to be taken out, and they take care of it. So once again, a tower has fallen here. Well, actually for the first time, to be honest with you. We have now also imposing presence taken. We're seeing the system shock in this case. So with the additional slow, the altar has been announced at the bottom of the map. Northern exposure and a pressure play in the middle from Blaze, trying to secure themselves another tower. But Equinox is there, low in hit points, so jumps in, uses the Void Prison. They try to go for a bit of damage play, and they go for, oh my god, that was amazing, into the ETC mosh pit. It's a kill, it's a double kill, 2 for 1 as Zeratul is dead. They go for battery, very likely to get the kill against the Orakia now too if they can jump in. Wow, not quite, but very, very close. The altar, on the other hand, has already been announced on the map and is now in place. So they can move down to the bot lane to take it. 8 kills against 9 was a very nice trade here after all for Resurgence, but they did not get that. Oh, they might get Zagara now. No, it's so close always. So many of these heroes are just barely able to get away. It's ETC that dies. They got at least the shots in. 25 versus 20 now overall. Where is Zeratul when you need them? Falstad flies in though, and that could be the hero they need. And yeah, they get the kill against Zagara. Are they gonna go for Jaina though? Whoa, Falstad is down. Jaina is also dead. Shot is moving away. Rixie trying to keep him alive. Morales is moving in now too as Zeratul is back. 10 kills against 11. And this is really blow for blow. We have a great game here on Towers of Doom to start this final off. Absolutely amazing game. Super entertaining here. Very enjoyable series already. And with this now, of course, another quick look at that damage output. 27,000 on Zeratul. 32,000 on Falstad, 38 on Khaldor, Stitches on 35,000 damage, and Jaina on 43,000 with Zagara still rocking 42. Incredible numbers here all around. Great play, and Equinox moves in again with all that extra damage, but he has to be careful. He needs to stay alive a bit longer. Again, the Void Prison. They're trying to isolate them, but Jason is moving in with his Zagara. Equinox is low, and Equinox is dead. Falstad flew in for the Mighty Gust. They tried to go for Morales. Can they secure the kill? Yes, they can, but it's too late. They already lost ETC. They lose Falstad. They lose Uther. They get nearly wiped, and that is an amazing opportunity, of course, now. Since 3 altars have just been announced, they're going to be in 20 seconds. And guys, this could be potentially 15 damage. This could end the game. If they get the boss and all 3 altars, it will end the game if they get that. Since we have now 5 towers under the control of Team Blaze. Resurgence, they are in trouble. Here comes the channel. The first 4 points are already dropped on the core. They are starting to channel the top, and they're going to get that. Khaldor, on the other hand, is taking the bottom. And here is that massive barrage. 10 more points coming in on the core, and it is dropped down to 3 points. Very well played here. Khaldor's the only one who got an opportunity to at least prevent the bottom tower from being taken, or the bottom altar. So it's 22 versus 3 points, 19, nearly level 20. And I mean, that extra talent that we are seeing now on Blaze is going to give them an even bigger lead in this particular setup. They have the Storm talents now, and on the Storm talents, the Caduceus Reactor, the Spectral Leech for Leoric, a double bolt of the Storm taken for Jaina and Zagara for the additional escape here. Gladius, of course, on his Stitches, he could go for a bit more sustain now as well. Let's see what he's going to choose eventually. No, he's not. He's going for Regenerative Bile, which gives them actually also a great amount of heal. Interesting to see that taken here. So he heals galore on that end, and another tower attacked at the top as they are trying to reclaim it, which would give them level 20. But the Paralyzing Rage slows down ETC. They're trying to go for him. Where's that hook? There's the hook. Oh, and ETC just barely surviving. Oh, they push it to heroes. The double kill, and the level 20 is now available as well. ETC with the mosh pit. Oh god, Blaze getting greedy and losing 3 heroes immediately. There's the epic mount. They're trying to isolate the target, but Killing is moving in a bit too much. Oh, Zeratul dying again here. Went on level 20 into Rewind. We have a double bolt of the Storm on Khaldor and ETC, and of course this is another one. If you lose this one, then it's over, but they have 4 heroes on the map, and that gives them a huge lead. 5 kills against Zeratul, 4 kills against ETC and Falstad, and when we're looking at this scenario, then it's of course all about another temple. 1 temple is all that they need. They jump in again. Here comes the blink away. Jason is trying to escape. They're going for it. Leoric is back to business now, but Stitches and Jaina are still missing. Nice zoning with the Phoenix. They try to channel. Leoric is Wraith walking out of it. He's trying to force the cancel on it. See, they get that March of the Black King used, and Morales is keeping Leoric alive. They're buying time for Stitches and Jaina to come back, and they are actually doing very well here. Here comes, oh wow, Stimtron and Leoric. That is a new one. They go for shot. Shot is dead. Shot is dead, and now we have potentially the end of the game. Daihu is here. Here comes Rufflecopter, and it's GG as everybody dies on the side of Resurgence, and this is gonna be the final blow against the core. They go in, the shots are fired, and this is game, ladies and gentlemen. The 1-0 lead in the best of 3 series here at the end of the Storm North America Finals before Team Blaze going up against Resurgence in this best of 3 series. Game number 1 ended in favor of Team Blaze. Towers of Doom was the map. So in the Heroes of the Storm final here now, for the Enter the Storm, we have a 1-0 lead already for Blaze, and Dragonshire as map number 2. And we've been talking a bit about the priority that Thrall currently has in the European meta, and also in the North American meta. Not something that necessarily comes from the last patch, but more so from the balance changes and the scaling changes before. Thrall banned out very early in this, so Khaldor's still available after Zagara got banned out, and also in this case Muradin, which Resurgent is going to lock down immediately. There's a couple of things to really talk about now. Zagara in particular on North America, extremely highly valued. We see the hero also quite often in also China and also in Europe, of course, but on Dragonshire the hero is exceptionally strong. You usually position Zagara at the top lane and you get access to the shrine. She has a lot of pushing power that you can use to get a lot of vision on the map, and thanks to the creep tumors you are fairly safe. So Blaze bans that out immediately. They don't want to go up against her. With the Resurgence going into Muradin, Blaze takes the opportunity to go for Tyrande. They can drop a Khaldor as well. It's a question of what exactly they want to do. Some teams actually prioritize with the Tyrande a Jaina a bit over Khaldor, since you have the opportunity to just like go for that a massive amount of burst damage after the stun that Tyrande can supply. And you always have to think a little bit about what do you have as a start into that potential snipe comp, into that stun lock. Do you go for another hero here first? Do you allow Res to go into a Khaldor, for example, and take then later on an additional hero? Risk that Jaina is maybe being banned out here. Those are like the thoughts that are usually crossing players and teams' minds at this point. So you could go into a Khaldor here, you could go into a Jaina, or you could just like try to go for a tank that can really start the cycle and really start one of those lockdowns. ETC and also Diablo are tanks that work very well with that. Stitches, of course, too. But they decide as already suggested, to go into that Jaina over the potential Kel'Thas to make sure that they have the damage burst after the lockdown. There's still a lot of tanks that they can use at the front line to make sure that Tyrande gets that initiation with a Stitches hook, with Diablo rushing in, with also the ETC and his power slide, and that's something that Resurgence of course knows as well. They have a Muradin lockdown. And now Kel'Thas would still be a great option for them. Kel'Thas always absolutely amazing, so I would be a little bit surprised to not see him here. But let's not forget about this false stat that they used before, which is still incredibly powerful, and more so on Dragonshire, where you have the mobility to go for those shrines once that they're activated. So a false stat would be a likely choice for Resurgence too. They have a different way how they could approach this now as well, though. They can go into a Sonya. Muradin Sonya, an incredible powerful setup at the beginning of the draft. Oftentimes you see it with the attempt to go into Jaina as well, because it gives so much burst damage with that spear into Slam and then also the Blizzard for Jaina. So there's a couple of setups that you can really run with it. Kel'Thas, on the other hand, you don't really want to let him go, but now the question, Falstad, Sonya, or are we even seeing something completely different that shifts away from it? We see that Kel'Thas and Falstad combo that are already suggested at the beginning, and now we're heading straight into the bans. Things are starting to get very interesting right now, because at this point, Blaze, they have a few options of what they can ban out. They can go into a support ban. They can ban out Sonya if they are afraid that Resurgence might use that Sonya as the second frontliner next to Muradin and also provide a very strong healer to it. It could be, for example, a Charism. There's still an Uther around as well, and they ban out Sonya. I'm liking it. Okay, so we think alike. Resurgence now, on the other hand, they already know that there's Tyrande Jaina, and they will probably ban out one of the tanks, and they do. They ban out ETC. They had the option to ban Stitches, this is or Diablo. They decided to ban ETC, and now Blaze, they still have two heroes that they could choose to start this entire initiation with, like, that stun comp. Either Diablo or Stitches could be chosen here. You could even go for both if you really wanted to. We've seen it before. We could see it again. It's an option that they have. If we're talking about damage, then there's of course a few more heroes that we still have to mention, since they don't have enough yet. Reyna is amazing. They could use Reyna here, or they could simply say, another hero they could take, by the way, just going away from damage for a second, is Tassadar. Tassadar hasn't been chosen yet. Tyrande Tassadar is actually incredibly powerful, but first of all they pick that tank, and it is Diablo. So Diablo over Stitches, or are we going to see Stitches as well? For now, Diablo has been chosen. Personally, I'm a huge fan of a second frontliner next to Diablo. I think that Diablo as a solo frontliner has a huge amount of problems in the later stages of the game. At the beginning, he's totally fine. He's amazing, especially with Tyrande. But then in the later stages, as a solo tank with only one support, he oftentimes lacks the sustain that you need to really win team fights. He gets bursted down way too quickly, and then the game turns around in the late game. So it's one of those things that you usually try to avoid by adding a second frontliner next to him that can peel a bit for him and that can actually like stun heroes out. Johanna, for example, would be great in that regard. But as we said, if you want to go for massive aggression, you could even drop that Stitches that we already saw in the last game for Team Blaze. And they play that with damage. So that would actually work even with a Tassadar. Diablo has a pretty significant output in DPS actually. Tassadar is chosen. So as expected, there's that Tassadar Tyrande, and that leaves Blaze open for a lot of potential follow-ups here on the last pick. They also can react to, of course, what Resurgence is going to do now. And Resurgence, they have a fair amount of opportunities now. First of all, they need, of course, a healer. We have seen a couple of Morales in this game already, and I mean, talking about like the false stat here, you could go again into the Stimdron false stat. The risk that you run is that Morales is somehow caught by the opponent with Diablo charging in. And especially if Blaze is thinking about a potential Stitches, then Morales would be a huge liability. That's one of the reasons why we see Uther now taken. Uther at least has the option to go and Divine Shield himself and get away. Charism would have been another option there. He can dash out of a hook, out of a stun. He has a Relentless on level 13, which also helps him to survive these engages. But right now, they can take a second tank. There is a Tyrael that you can consider. There's of course also the variation where they could head into a Stitch if they wanted to. We see the hero a bit more, but it doesn't mean that you have to take them. If they want to go full heavy frontline, then a Johanna is still around to be used. And it is instead the damage variation. I really like that they are so aggressive with this setup and that they choose again Zeratul. And with Zeratul chosen, to be honest with you, I don't really mind. I actually think that like a Stitches or a Johanna would be a very nice follow-up for this. You can argue the damage aspect. That would talk in favor of course, first of all, a Stitches here. Unless they want to play Diablo solo, then Reyna would be great. Or Avala, she has a bit more. Tyrael is also a good choice. Not quite what I would have gone for here, but with Tyrael they have a couple of options that Stitcher doesn't give them. He can, first of all, go for hard engage if they want to go into Judgment. Sanctification is the more likely talent that counters out a lot of the damage that Khaldor can bring on the table. And he has those shields as well. I really think that if you go into your Stitches and go for that slam build that they already showcased in the first game, you make up for a lot of the damage that you lose out upon by only playing one single damage dealer with Jaina. But they can spec Tyrande also for a bit more damage, or even Tacita. So Blaze has a couple of options of how exactly they can play this lineup. But they have finally that second tank at the front line to help Diablo out, and they have very nice support with Tyrande and Tacita. So this is going to be an interesting game, especially since Tacita, of course, with that Zeratul in play, will use Mental Acuity on level 4 most likely to reduce that cooldown on Oracle. And that's the one thing that is a little bit odd about that Zeratul pick here, that Resurgence picked Zeratul into the Tacita. We're going to find out if it's going to be enough for them to take this game here. They need to win if they want to have a chance to win the finals. Blaze is already in the lead. With another map win, they would secure a 2-0 victory. So let's jump into the game right away and find out who's going to take it here on Dragonshire. Game number 2 and potentially the last map in the best of 3 series. Blaze is in the lead here in the final at the end of the Storm North America qualifier. To the left side of the map we have them with Khaldor on Diablo, Jason on Tacita, you on Tirana. That Diablo-Tirana combo again with Jaina for the follow-up damage, Rufflecopter playing her here, and Battery on Tyrael. To the right side of the map, it's again a Zeratul composition that Team Resurgence is playing with Equinox on Zeratul, Theo on Muradin, Rixie on Uther, Shot on Kel'Thas, and Killik on Falstad. So this is going to be an interesting one. Already Devils do taken over the potential Soul Feast on the side of Diablo. We're seeing the Deep Chill on Jaina. And besides that, not really too many adjustments, but one that I want to point out, especially after the last game, Zeratul decided to make a bit of a change and went into the Regeneration Master as his level 1 talent, opposed to the Seasoned Marksman that we saw him take on the last map on Towers of Doom. So this is going to be a pretty aggressive early game on Team Blaze. They need to engage, they want to jump in with Diablo, they want to get those stuns in. We have Diablo actually currently in the mid lane, Khaldor and Jason, but up at the top, still the pressure play, and they go for Rixie, but they don't get that kill in. Yeah, Diablo would have been maybe a bit better here up at the top, but they use currently Tyrael to control that top lane. Already the pressure over here in Equinox. Oh, nice! Good damage against Rufflecopter. And that kill, very well played, yeah, very well done. And Tirana just didn't have that cooldown ready to drop another heal here. Cooldown's a very nasty thing if you want to keep allies alive. Yeah, well, once again, Zeratul moving in, being a bit annoying. That's basically what all of the stealth heroes are supposed to do, being a nuisance. That's true for Nova, that's true for Zeratul. Jason, of course, is going to be very important with his Oracle ability and the potential mental acuity, since he doesn't necessarily have to go into the Leeching Plasma, considering that he is playing in a double support composition. Tirana Tacita is very powerful these days and a very popular combination to pick. Jason, Rufflecopter, and Khaldor are moving down to the bot lane. They're trying to get one of those shrines. They already lost the one up at the top, and that of course makes it very important for them to at least control one. But it means also that Tirana might experience some pressure in the mid lane, as Zeratul is still looking for an opportunity to get some damage in. Oh, there we have it. Unfortunately, no follow-up stun from Tirana yet, so Muradin just jumping out for now. Top lane. Yeah, well, Battery is very unlikely to get this one. This is not going to happen. At the bottom of the map, we have Shot in a bit of trouble. So is Zeratul, who has to blink away in the mid lane. There's a lot of action actually happening on the map right now, with both of the teams now on level 4. And we have an adjustment. The Vorpal Blade has been taken here. Okay. So that is actually pretty interesting. It's an adjustment in the build that we see for Zeratul, and I think that's very, very cool. Equinox is already there. Could jump in again, doesn't do that. And yes, there we have a lockdown against Diablo, and the kill against him. The Lord of Terror, not that terrifying, but Kel'Thas at the bottom lane has been taken down as well. Death to all fire mages, that was what Jaina and Zeratul were saying there. Yeah, Zeratul making a bad life choice there. Mistakes were made, and Jason is paying the price, which is in this case his life. Tyrael at the top lane going for the Vampiric Strike here, and we have Mental Acuity as already theorized a bit earlier for Tacita. It makes a whole lot of sense for him to go for that particular talent. Focused attack taken for Tirana, and you can already see that it's a bit of an adjustment with the build, going into Ranger's Mark on level 1. It's interesting actually that we don't see the Owl build. Of course, if you go for a full Owl build, it's the full heal build, because you get that cooldown reduction on Shadow Stalk and also on your own heal. But still, on this map, you can interrupt the channel on the Dragon Knight, and that can be quite helpful. Khaldor again about to fall. Diablo, do they get the counter kill? No! Missing the Owl and not securing the kill. 4 kills again. Well, 4 kills against 1. Not really the opening that Blaze was hoping for. Resurgence is playing this very well thus far. The follow-through talent taken now for Zeratul to get even more damage in after he started things off with a Whirlpool Blade here. We're seeing fission bombs for Kel'Thas, and of course have also now, oh, maybe another problem here. Rufflecopter. Yep, that is the end of him. Very aggressive setup here, actually, not on the team that we expected. It's shot dying now too, but we have level 7 for both of the teams, and the most aggressive team here is definitely Resurgence. They've been very aggressive in the last game, and with that Zeratul, they're just like staying true to their style here. At the top lane, Battery is trying to defend this wall as much as he can, but he's up against 2, which doesn't make things any easier. Equinox moves in again. Triple battle momentum now taken for cooldown reduction on the side of Blaze. We have one on Tyrael, the next one on Tyrande, and also another one on Diablo, with now also Carla's Embrace taken on level 7 for this preloading on the shields. That being said, Zeratul is starting to sneak in from behind. Oh, was visible actually. He gets a tower shot in here too. And that is a potential Dragon Knight. A bit unlikely though, especially with 3 heroes at the bot lane focusing on the shrine. But Khaldor jumps in and tries to get maybe a lockdown. Oh, they get one against Zeratul, but of course he can blink away. And it is also this... Oh, well, that stun. That was a Nomi stun there. Zoning Stormbolt, so to say. Yeah, zoning them out a little bit, not hitting anything. We have Rixie up at the top lane currently, again on his shrine, trying to steal this one away. It's trades most of the time, but in this case, it's a double shrine. Equinox, on the other hand, no, Rufflecopter missing the hit. No, the kill against Zeratul, but Jaina is now dead too. Shot, on the other hand, is about to fall as well, or is he? There is no, the Storm takes him down. Wow, close one. Yeah, 6 kills against 4. 5 minutes into the game, we have 10 kills already overall. A very, very aggressive game here between the two teams. And as you can tell, up the top lane, Rixie has to move away. And that is a potential Dragon Knight, actually, or Lag Spikes. Oh, called here. Ah, well, that's always unfortunate when that happens. Uh-oh, Muradin and Falstad. Both of them low. Jason is here, and they go again for Tyrande, but Battery is here now too. Everybody's in the mid lane, and we see Resurgence extremely low on their heroes. They kill against Muradin. They go for the Dragon Knight. They go also for Uther, and they are going to get both. The Dragon Knight already secured. Uther, uh-oh, stun problem coordination, but they get the kill anyways. Great movements here for Blaze once again. They have the Lightning Breath on Diablo, not going into Apocalypse here. Lightning Breath instead, and we have Sanctification and Shadow Stalk already used. Damage up at the top lane. The 10's also ready now for the opponent. That means in this case, again, having the Void Prison, which was used, and Kel'Thas moves in for the potential kill. Phoenix in play. Water Elemental used against Equinox, and he is down, but so is Tyrande. Tyrande going down, Rufflecopter trying to go for the damage against Kel'Thas, but there is also Jason. Well, that was not really the force wall that they were hoping for, but they still get the kill. They probably, they're most likely going to lose. No, they're not losing Jaina. Carla's Embrace and everything else is strong enough. Level 12 nearly versus level soon to be 11. And at the bot lane, Battery has been doing his damage on the Dragon Knight. Yeah, great start now also for the team in blue here. Really well done. That first Dragon Knight definitely changed things for them. And also, of course, that double kill that they got with it. So now 8 kills against 7. We're seeing them in a very solid spot. And talking damage in particular, we have 14,000 on Falstad, again showcasing that he's a great damage dealer. But also the same amount of damage on the side of Diablo as is. And also Jaina. So we have now camps taken on the map. It's once again the attempt to just like push these lanes back a little bit, but it's happening for both teams with the Bruiser camp captured towards the left side and the right. And yeah, the Owl is already starting to hit home, at least revealing what's happening over there. And we're seeing, or we're going to see very soon, level 13 talents dropping into the hands of Team Blaze as we see a quick pause here. So yeah, apparently there's like Ruffle lagging. It's not only lagging, it's Ruffle lagging, which makes things even worse. I mean, we all experienced lagging, but Ruffle lagging, boys, I can tell you how much that's no joke. Yeah, so the Talons are going to come in. Tyrande is apparently fine after just a second, so yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there. Maybe one of the siblings is downloading some porn. That's always annoying, I tell you that. The problem, whatever it was, has been solved though, apparently. Very soon as well. Usually it's solved by moving into the next room and just like hitting the little brother a little bit around. Doesn't really help if it's an older brother though, that is actually causing a lot of trouble, but as is the problem has been resolved. The level 13 Talents are going to put a nice advantage into their hands now too, and that means that we have Overflowing Light taken on level 13, as you can tell here. And well, next to that we have also, we have Void Prism being used. They're starting to move back down. Prescience on Tassadar, of course. There it is, imposing will chosen on Tyrael, and everybody is starting to move in as Diablo dies, and the rest of the team is disengaging. It's still 5 heroes there. Falstad nearly died, but not quite. We have up at the top lane still this camp that we showed a bit earlier that is starting to push in quite heavily against that fort, and somehow they have to deal with this, at least eventually. Yeah, well, Diablo is already there, taking care of it and securing the experience for his team as well. They still have a very, very solid lead here, which is incredibly important, of course. But the Dragon Knight is ready again with the shrines activating on the map. Diablo can move up to the top to take this one. Tyrael should probably rethink his choice to go down for the bottom shrine. It's a 4 versus 3, but we have Jaina moving in, and that is at least evening the odds again. So they're starting to go in for that, and Diablo at the top, still securing some experience. Over here, level 30, Talents now also ready for Resurgence, and, well, there is the lockdown against Tassadar. He shifts away again in the last moment. Very, very well done. But still, Diablo securing that shrines. It's a 5 versus 4 down here, and so far they didn't actually lose a hero, so they're doing fairly well. They also bait out a few of the heroic abilities, and that is incredible for them. Now Diablo comes in, that changes things, and they nearly kill Mirrodin, but not quite. Wormhole used, Thunderstrike, we see Shrink Ray, and now the Chain Bomb on 13 for Khaldor, which is of course going to make all of this a little bit easier for him, at least when it comes to the damage. But of course level 16, that's the talent that he's really hoping for, so that he's a bit safer on the map. Dragon Knight channel, if they channel right away, they're gonna get it, and they will get the Dragon Knight, but are they gonna lose Diablo? Not that they necessarily care, but well, they are moving Diablo around, and the Lord of Terror is terrorizing the world once again, since he is back after only 3 seconds. That Dragon Knight, on the other hand, has quite some time in the mid lane right now, because everybody else was up at the top, so he's going straight in to make sure that they are going to get the snipe against one of those forts at least, and moving away from the rotation that is happening here to put a bit more pressure down to the bottom of the map. The experience lead here is really crucial. We have level 15.5 versus level 14. Zeratul is moving in to go straight for Diablo. Yeah, there's the Shadow Stalk, keeping Khaldor alive for a little bit longer. Nice stun. Yeah, Equinox and Killick both were trying to go for Diablo again, but now, wow, that snipe against Zeratul. Zeratul is really having a bit of a tough time here. That Dragon Knight, on the other hand, has a great time. He's currently in the bot lane and trying to just like take these walls down. This is like a back and forth the entire time. Like, people are going for kills, chasing hard, leaving the Dragon Knight alone. He goes for the damage, gets the level 16 for his team. They are 2 levels ahead right now, moving through the middle of the map with Rampage taken on 16, the Dimensional Warp now, Shooting Star, Northern Exposure, and the Holy Ground. And Team Blaze is playing, they are blazing through this game. 9 kills against 9, and in terms of damage, just to give you a bit of an idea of what's happening here right now, we have 24,000 on Jaina. We have also a lot of damage here, of course, once again on Falstad, and at the same time Diablo is already putting the numbers in as well. A really sick final that we actually, see here, especially of course with the first game that we saw, but also overall the second map is quite aggressive. Equinox, he has to be a bit careful. I mean, he's one of the priority targets when he shows himself, and that's what they hope for. But now Khaldor with that 16 talent, they go in. You can't contest that. You can't move in for that. That just doesn't work. And now the top fort is, of course, under a lot of pressure. Not only because of the camp that they just took, but because of that level 16 talent. Yeah, well, Equinox, they try to reveal him, and they go for him. There's the force wall. Both of them are jumping away, but the top fort is still going to be, well, maybe not eliminated. It should be, actually, because of that camp that they took earlier. So they go into the mid lane now instead, starting to just rotate around again to drop 2 of those towers and secure a bit more experience. 16 versus 16 is of course going to hit very, very soon, but the thing that you still want to achieve is the earlier 20. Zeratul jumps away, Falstad with experience on in the bot lane. The lightning breath has been used and puts a bit of damage in. enough to force them back, but there's the 16 talent. Falstad has been doing his job. 16 versus 18. Stormbolt missing though. Rending Grief taken. Stormform for Mirrodin, and he's using it after Avatar, of course. And in comes Benediction plus Hammer Time for Falstad. They're starting to go straight in for potential kill. Uh-oh, isolation here thanks to the Mighty Gas battery shielded. And can he? No, he cannot jump away. Oh, wow, they go for even more. Mirrodin is already in the middle of the air. Shadowstalk used, they're trying to escape, and they are able to get away for now. Well played here, actually, also with the retreat. I mean, the only victim in this case is Tyrael. They need to prevent the Dragon Knight stolen, and I guess that's the most important part for them at this point. Tassadar is already at the top lane, securing at least one shrine, but as you can see, Zeratul made his way down to the bottom of the map, and is now trying to do the exact same thing. Over here, we should probably see Falstad move back. I don't think that it would be the smartest idea for him to go in here. Gladius is also trying to set up a bit of a trap there. Oh, stun attempts already happening. Tassadar. Uh-oh, dude, you need to be careful. So does Short Ward. Elemental is already starting to lock him down. Diablo's at the bot lane. If they lose Jaina now, and it looks like they might, yeah, they will, then it's going to be a 5 versus 3. That's a problem. You end up in this vicious circle where you try to hold a shrine or a position on the map because you're one hero down, then you lose another one, and by the time that your first dying hero is back in the game, you're still in a 4 versus 5, and that cycle just continues. 18 versus 17. I mean, as long as they get a couple of experience points, I think it's fine since they are heading into level 20 a bit faster. But right now, it's really a tricky spot for Blaze to be in. Even though they are ahead, they need to prevent that Dragon Knight from happening, and that's why we see Battery at the top lane securing another shrine. They're actually buying a lot of time here, and I'm really liking it. They're also starting to push back the mid lane, and Cladeus is always looking for an opportunity to jump on Kalthas. You can really tell. But Tassadar shifting away, moving out, not hit by neither the Netherwind nor the Stormbolt. It is going to be a 5 versus 5 in just a little bit. Killik could fly to the top lane. Over here in the middle, yes, he's flying in. He's flying to the top lane. He's securing the shrine, and now they have to fight in the mid lane. They have to fight in the middle. No, they don't, because Battery jumps in and says, "Hi, bird, how you doing?" And Killik needs to go away there. He needs to actually... No, he got Mighty Gusted. He got Mighty Gusted, and now it's going to be a Dragon Knight. Yes, they can take it. Oh, so close. Falstad is down. They got the shrine, but it was too late. The Dragon Knight already stolen. But it's a 5 versus 4. It's a 5 versus 4, and that means that this Dragon Knight, who would have to go through the forts, by the way, not a single one has been eliminated yet, has to be very, very passive. That doesn't do anything for them. That Dragon Knight is not going to be able to do really too much, especially with level 20, of course, just around the corner now. That is going to be a huge deal as well. So once again, Cladeus, Battery, and you starting to move into the mid lane. They're like, Dragon Knight? Who cares about the Dragon Knight? We're going to go for the keep now. And level 20 talents will allow them to do that. Hunter Swiftness, Storm Shield, a Bolt of the Storm on Jaina, Diablo with a Hellstorm. And we will see already on the side of Tyrael, probably a Hardened Shield. No, he goes for the Holy Arena. He goes for the Holy Arena. Alright, damage increase as well. Now, I'd say that a Holy Arena with okay, let's be honest for a second. Hellstorm is already terrifying as is. If you have a Holy Arena underneath you when you use that, that would be absolutely incredible. That would be absolutely insane. So that is apparently the combo that they are aiming for here. And I want to show you the damage real quick on Diablo, because we're going to talk about this. 39,000 currently for Diablo, and I can't wait for his opportunity. 40,000 damage now for him. I can't wait for the opportunity to use Solid Storm here, because that should be pretty frightening when that happens. That should be a terrifying combo. The Dragon Knight is gone, and we are having now a 5 versus 5 in the middle of the map, with now one of those keeps, of course, threatened. But they move away, or at least they try to, as Tassadar is locked down for a second. And they can start to move in again. Yeah, Battery, Cladeus, they're still there. And Rufflecopter saying, alright, boys, I'm going to come back in. It's fine, we're going to do this. We're going to do this, we're going to go for the keep. And they have to. I mean, they have to capitalize somehow on the level 20 talent, and that's currently what we're seeing here. Oh, there's already the attack, and Hellstorm is being used. The Holy Arena, on the other hand, has been used now as well. The kill against Falstad, and here comes again Diablo going in. Look at that damage, 8,000 damage in that last fight, thanks to that combo that they just used. And now they're going to get the kill against... Yes, they get the kill against Luther. Everybody else is, of course, trying to jump away, but the keep is down, and Blaze, are they going to go for it? Are they going to try and go for core? No, because Equinox is actually getting, once again, very annoying here. The stun also hitting hard. It's level 20 versus 19, still 11 kills against 12, and all the camps are on the map. It's a 5 versus 3 situation that allows you at least to steal the camps away, and with 29 seconds announced on the Dragon Knight, they can now go for those shrines again. Already taken right here. We have them claiming the first camp. And how exactly are Equinox and the boys are reacting to this. We have Zeratul already starting to move in for this one. And, well, up to the top lane, there's Falstad. Only one camp taken, not more than that. Bit surprising to me, actually, that we didn't go for more. Level 20 is going to be ready any second now also for the opponent's team. There's the first temple, there's the second shrine taken. Mid lane pressure, they're trying to go for it. And nice, they use the Holy Arena to get the Dragon Knight sniped in your face. Well done. Double rewind on Muradin and Zeratul. We have Redemption, a blink on Khaldor, and the Epic Mount taken. I love that move. Great move here with the Holy Arena. They get that done, and now they go for Zeratul. Oh, Zeratul. He is dead. Dead. And Claudius and his guys are moving in right now. Battery with that Dragon Knight is going for the core, and we have a potential kill even against the rest of the setup here. The Dragon Knight is doing his thing, dancing around the core. They're trying to lock him down somehow. Tacitus at the top lane, still busy with Khaldor, who was thrown down actually. This could be the victory in the tournament. Here's the Hellstorm again. All that damage, way too much to round it down. It does not matter. It's a 2-0 victory. It is Team Blaze securing that win in the best of 3 series at the end of the Storm North America qualifier final. Well played, GG, and congratulations to Team Blaze.
And that is it, everybody. GG and well played. The game's over, and therefore also the video for today here on Khaldor TV. We had another great Heroes of the Storm match, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Also hope that you enjoyed the commentary, of course. So thank you very much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up on YouTube. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to Khaldor TV yet, you should definitely hit that sub button as well. If you have some friends that like Heroes of the Storm, then definitely make sure that you show them the channel and also the video. There's a lot more where that came from. We're going to have like continuous content throughout the next few weeks with more Heroes of the Storm matches played, not only on the European server, but also on the North American server, in tournaments, in leagues, and more than that. So guys, once again, thank you very much for tuning in today. I hope that you had some fun. It was a pleasure casting for you. And I'm going to see you next time with even more videos here on the channel. So have a great day and see you soon. Bye-bye.